Hey, good morning, everybody. How you all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr., and this is a brief episode of the Real News Behind the News. Yeah, today is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020, and it's also Super Tuesday here in America. Today is the day where you have, I think, about 15, 20 states have their Democratic primaries today, and a lot of delegates are going to be awarded to each candidate, in those primaries. Now, let me break it down to y'all a little bit how this works. You all might be familiar with it, but what happens is these primaries and these caucuses, are held, and the winner of those caucuses or primaries, they get a certain amount of delegates in the Democratic Party, which leads up to the Democratic National Convention, where they announce the Democratic nominee who's going to be running. Good morning, Miss A. How you doing? Good. Glad to see you here this morning. Now, what's happening right now? Y'all got to pay attention. In 2016, Bernie Sanders was the candidate that would have actually beat Donald Trump. But now we see how the Democratic Party actually stole the nomination from Bernie in 2016. Well, actually, they're trying to do it again. Now, I can't tell you all who to vote for. My suggestion is that you look at each candidate's voting record, their history on certain issues, especially issues that affect black people. If that's the case, we know that Bloomberg is already out because there's no way in the world we as black people can support this man who was responsible for, tens of thousands of black men being racially profiled, targeted for their stop and frisk. Also, if you look at some of the things he said, for as women, the sexism that he was involved in, Bloomberg should automatically be out. Joe Biden is an establishment type of politician. He goes along to get along. It's true now. You all have to realize Biden was involved in some form of corruption involving his son, over there in the Ukraine. Biden is also a warmonger because he's always signed off on these illegal wars. So what has happened now is Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, they dropped out of the race yesterday, which leaves a lot of delegates up for grabs. And my way of thinking is this is another way to stack the field against Bernie Sanders, and then as each one drops out, that takes delegates away from Bernie Sanders, which will leave him short of a majority when it comes down to the Democratic National Convention. See, the candidate who has the most delegates gets the nomination, and if no candidate has a majority, certain number, 50% or more of the candidates, they do what's called a brokered convention, meaning that way they can pick whoever they wanted to. In reality, they could actually pick Hillary Clinton again. You all excuse me, man. They could actually pick Hillary Clinton as the nominee for the Democratic Party, which we know if that would be the worst mistake that they can make is picking Hillary Clinton. But me, myself, I'm neither Democrat or Republican. I try to look at the best candidate, no matter what political affiliation that they're with, and I make my decision upon that. See, what they expect or what they plan on is people being what they call low information voters. A low information voter is a person who really just votes off emotions or looks at what he sees on the television, the fancy commercials and all this, and you make a decision based off that as opposed to actually knowing these people voting records. So we just want to let you all know that if you're in one of these states where they're holding primaries, get out and vote. Now, I can't tell you all how to vote for, but I will suggest that you all look at Bernie Sanders a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just be real. They try to label him as a socialist. What that is, that's just like McCarthyism back in the 40s and 50s, 50s and 60s. They had what was called the Red Scare, where they was trying to use the fact that Russia is the boogeyman and we got to do something. And McCarthy, he was basically blackballing people. Basically anybody that he was against their principles, their ideals, and their agendas, he labeled them as communists. You see them trying to do the same thing with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is what you call a democratic socialist, meaning that the people vote for the programs that they feel is best for the people. Now, think about this. They try to label him as a socialist, but let me ask y'all a question. Do you benefit from the public police department, the fire department? Do your children benefit from public schools? Do you receive, or do you or anybody else receive social benefits such as food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security? Well, then guess what? That's a form of socialism. Anytime you take taxpayers' money and provide assistance for the less fortunate, that's a form of socialism. So what's really wrong with that? When we know that 1% of the people here in America, the richest 1%, owns more property, owns more capital than the other 99% of us put together. So what's wrong with helping those who are poor? Now, I'm not sitting up here saying handicap people by giving them all these benefits, because that creates an incentive for a person not to want to work. But sometimes people need a helping hand, you know what I'm saying? Especially like people coming out of jail. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cats that come out of jail really want to change their life around, but a lot of them, you know, are facing that convicted felon and all that. And what happens with that convicted felon label, now you have delegated a group of people to second-class citizens. They can't get jobs, and you know, a lot of them just, you know, go right back to prison. The recidivism rate is very high for convicted felons, man. So you know, we need programs to help fellas get their right to vote back. We need programs to help train some of these convicted felons coming out of prison so that they can be productive members of society. And Bernie Sanders is probably the only candidate right now who's down for that, who's in favor for helping those who are less fortunate. You know what I'm saying? So again, today is Super Tuesday, and if you're in one of those states that's voting, I suggest that you look at all the candidates, you know, under a magnifying glass. And once you do, you'll see that Bernie is the candidate for that's really the only candidate that has a chance of beating Donald Trump. Now again, we talked about the coronavirus last night, and we talked about how we believe it was a biological warfare plot of biological warfare unleashed against China. If you notice, this virus only targets the DNA of certain people, mostly elderly people and those of Asiatic descent. You know what I'm saying? So right now what you have is a lot of fear mongering on the news, you know, trying to get you all scared, you know. But I suggest that, you know, take proper precautions as you would take precautions for the flu. Spray your house down with Lysol, wipe everything down with bleach. When you're in public places, you know, be mindful of shaking hands with other people. You know, if you got a cough, put your shirt over your head, over your mouth. You know what I'm saying, so that you won't, if you're a carrier of the virus, you won't spread it. But we'll talk about that and other things a little bit more later on. Hey, we thank you all for watching this video. Hey, please, y'all, we do need some support right about now. If you notice, I put the cash tag up in the title of this video. You know, we're not asking for much. So if we can get 10 people to send us $10 through Cash App, we could take care of this internet, because you know, I paid for it. I finally got it paid for, but it's due again, and I'm not too much worried about the phone, because as long as I got internet, I can make phone calls. But yeah, you know, y'all know me, man. I don't get on YouTube like a lot of the other YouTubers. I always beg and every time I do a video, but there is a need that I really have right now, because as y'all can see, well, I can't turn the phone around. It's raining here in Shreveport, which again, it's supposed to rain today and tomorrow. Oh, pray for the people up there in Nashville, man. They had 9 people to die and a lot of property damage as a result of a tornado up there in Nashville, Tennessee, man. Pray for the families of those who lost loved ones in that, man. But you know, again, it's raining down here, so we can't even get out and do no work, man. And it's been like that really over the last month and a half, and I'm way, way behind on a lot of things. So again, I'm not begging, I'm just, you know, I'm doing like the preachers do. I'm asking for, you know, a little help, you know, so that I can continue to bring y'all these videos. Also, I want y'all to leave comments on what type of subjects that you all would like for us to talk about. I know some people want us to talk about reparations, So I'll do a little research on that. I pretty much done a lot of research, but I do a little bit more research because I want to show y'all how the country of Haiti is in the situation that it is now, because after they overthrew the slave masters, the people in Haiti literally had to pay the French slave owners reparations. Believe it or not, they had to pay reparations to the French because the French were overthrown. They got overthrown. The slaves revolted, overthrew the French, and the French told the Haitians, for every slave master that lost money, you all have to pay reparations. Here in America, they paid reparations to the American Indians. They even just paid reparations, well, not too long ago, paid reparations to the Japanese who were put in concentration camps here in America during World War II. So why is it that black people who actually built this country and provided all this generational wealth for other groups, why is it that we can't get reparations? I'm going to be real. If they were smart, they would give black people reparations. They would give black people $20,000 a piece. Because you know what's going to happen? Most black people going to go out and buy dumb shit. And they're going to get most of that money back. Most black people going to go out and buy rims, big screen TVs, you know what I'm saying, Air Jordans. Most people going to go out and buy dumb shit. Good morning, Ms. Hernandez. How you doing? Glad you could join us. Yeah, if they were smart, they would give black people reparations because they going to get most of that money back in the form of commercial goods, selling commercial goods. You see what I'm saying? But again, we'll talk a little bit more. Matter of fact, that's going to be our topic of discussion tonight, reparations. Now, it's going to be a little bit late because we got a meeting that I got to attend concerning a project that they're building up on my old neighborhood. And basically what they're trying to do is flood my neighborhood with low-income housing. And it's a shame that it's black people trying to capitalize off the poverty of other black people. So we're going to be doing a live video out there. And I'm not going to stream it on YouTube live because it's a local issue. But yeah, we're going to be out there, man, and I'll bring y'all highlights from that. But again, keep hitting that like button, man. We thank y'all for the love and support and encouragement that y'all show us. Make sure you stay subscribed because, again, YouTube has a way of unsubscribing a lot of my subscribers. But most importantly, man, keep, give us your comments so that we can know what it is that you all really want to hear. Again, we don't do too much entertainment type tabloid stuff, but we like to keep it real on real issues, man. So again, we ask y'all for y'all support, whether it be subscribing, liking, sharing our video. But right now, we I hate to ask, but we do need a little financial support. If we can get 10 of y'all, we really need to come up with at least about $150 by Thursday. And right now, with the rain coming in the way it is, I don't see it happening. So, we'll reach out to y'all if y'all feel led to and compelled to. Like I say, all it takes, 15 people to give $10. I know, and again, I'm going to just leave it at that because I don't want to seem like I'm some of these other YouTubers who do this just to try to get paid and extort money from people. So, hey, till y'all see me again on another one of these videos, y'all be blessed.